everybody, welcome back to Nerd Rant. I'm JJ, aka Junior Wolf, and this is my temporary question mark co-host.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. Who are you?
Lexi, or Wisteria Whiskers.
It's AKA. You're supposed to say AKA. That's like the whole thing. That's the whole shtick.
Well, you said I'm not going to stick around, so...
Oh, okay, that was smooth. I'll let it slide. Anyway, we're here, back again, week 2 of 3 of Seth being away. So, obviously, I have Lexi here, and we're going to be chit-chatting about a topic. Okay, so... This one requires an explanation. So, we have been slowly working our way through Studio Ghibli movies, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, on this podcast, I'm sure most of our audience would know what a Studio Ghibli movie is. It's been an experience, to say the least. I don't really know how else to put it. It's been special. That's for sure. Special is a word.
It's been magical, uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of things.
We have some unpopular opinions, I guess would be the best way to put it, about some of the movies.
Don't cancel us, guys.
The reason we're recording this is because I know for a fact if I recorded this episode with Seth, it would not go down well.
I'm gonna dox you.
Yeah, really. He's gonna have me take this episode down, so if you heard it,
No,
you're lucky.
You're gonna wake up in a cold sweat and be like, someone's talking crap.
Mm-hmm. Literally. Because, as we all know here, Seth is the big anime fan, right? And Ghibli movies are anime movies. And he loves them. He loves pretty much every single one of them to high heavens for some reason. I don't exactly know why, but he does. And we love some of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Some of them I question.
Mm-hmm. I will say we are about halfway through all of the Ghibli movies. We've watched, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Ghibli movies. And we have 6 more to get through. So we're a little over halfway through.
We've discussed making this one a two-parter so that we can give our rankings as of now and then our rankings for the other half of the movies we haven't seen, and then possibly a third part for our rankings overall, because our rankings could change based on how the next half goes.
Yes. So we kind of gave them 1 through 5 star ratings. I'm just going to list off the ones we have, not their ratings yet. We'll get to each of those individually, but the ones that we have seen by this point are Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, When Marnie Was There, and Boy and the Heron.
Yeah, Boy and the Heron.
So that's what we're working with. That's what we've seen. I know it's more of the popular ones rather than the less popular ones. So we were trying to get a perspective on them by watching all of the ones that are highly acclaimed first. And then we could go into the more niche ones. But we've seen a lot of the big popular ones. But we have some thoughts. So what do you want to jump into first?
Oh gosh. Let's see. How about we start strong with Kiki?
Kiki? Okay. Kiki's Delivery Service. That is
cute.
It was cute. It's one of the more popular Ghibli movies, and I assume it is that because it is a better movie.
And it has a cat. We love Kiki.
Yes,
we
it
love
does. He's adorable. Yeah. Cute cat, obviously.
Cute cat. 10.
Makes for great merchandising.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's we rather liked this one. We gave it 4 stars on our scale. Which was better than some other ones have gotten.
We're harsh graders, folks.
Not really. I feel like we're not even really that harsh graders. It's been a wild journey watching some of these, because we're this is the kind of stuff that people have been like raving about. Like when I started watching Ghibli movies, I expected like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like deep philosophical, like, you know, the kind of
Picasso.
the kind of topics that like deep anime tend to get into, like existential stuff, depression, you know, the deep, heavy-hitting topics. No, it's just weird.
Mate was over here thinking he was gonna get Death Note.
Literally, no. Because, like, Death Note was one of the first animes I watched, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really good. And Seth tells me, like, yeah, a lot of these have this kind of, like, deep storytelling, and that's the side of anime that I really like, is the storytelling side, the ones that have really well-written characters and stories. That's a really loud soda, dang. I hope you heard that. We haven't done sodas in the podcast
I know,
in a
that's
while.
why I wanted to open it. I don't still know if the mic picked it up.
It probably did. Man, we need to do sodas again. I completely forgot that we did that. It was usually a can, though, not a bottle.
Yeah, well, we work with what we got.
Yeah. Anyways, what was I saying?
You were talking about the deep philosophical meaning of life.
Yeah! That's the stuff that I really liked about anime. So when I was watching these, I was like, okay, so we're gonna get some cute kids movies that kind of like have this deeper meaning behind them. No, not really. Kiki's was cute. Kiki's was a cute movie. I feel like it didn't try and reach too deep. It didn't have that much of a deeper meaning.
I mean, if you really wanted to split hairs, you could say that it did, like, focusing on your goals. Something like that. Not like... Because remember, her whole thing was she was going off to learn how to do magic. And she lost focus for a minute, and that's why she lost the ability to hear Gigi.
Is it?
I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I got from it.
I mean, I thought Gigi lost his voice because he was hanging out with the other cat.
No, I was pretty sure it was because
he was a magical cat. She couldn't understand all animals. She could only understand him. And when he started hanging out with the other cat, then it...
See, I assumed it was also... Because remember, it's happened when she started losing her connection to her magic. Because remember, she wasn't able to fly and stuff.
I guess.
That's what I took it to be.
Either way, though, not as deep as I thought it would be. It is a very surface level, like, lesson. Something you'd expect in a kid's movie, right? Like, something that's not too hard for a kid to understand. Which isn't a bad thing. Like, I like kids' movies. I like most kids' movies. I love animated movies. They're some of my favorites of all time. So it's not like I was being pessimistic about the fact that it's a kids' movie. But, like, it was good. It was cute.
Especially the characters. I loved the character design.
We enjoyed it. It was a cute little adventure. It was entertaining. Like, we had a good time watching this one. Mm-hmm. So I was overall pleased that, you know, this was one of the most acclaimed ones because it felt like it made sense that it was.
This is honestly one that if we hadn't set the rule of there would be no half stars, would probably be a 4.5 for me. But we set the rule early on to make it easier. It's just one extreme or the other. Like, one number or another.
No halves, no quarters, no nothing. It has to be a whole star. Wholesome. Side note, we figured out Lexi cannot draw stars.
I draw the best stars. I don't know.
No, you drew like a lopsided ice cream cone. Yeah. It was like, that's not a star.
Artistic.
I had to show her how to like do the A pattern to like draw the star. But long story short, she wrote all of the titles and then I wrote all of the stars. So
I don't understand. I literally just did Starry Nights on the nail, but I can't draw a star.
It's because Starry Nights is swirls, not stars.
I also am terrible drawing circles.
Your face is a circle. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
So yeah, 4 stars. I feel like that was fair.
Yeah, I'd say fair.
It was definitely one of the better ones. Should we go with a bad one now or a good one? Do we want to like alternate?
Works for me. I picked the last one. It's your turn.
All right, let's alternate. So let's go with one that we didn't like as much. Let's go with like the other popular one. My Neighbor Totoro.
I knew you were going to say Totoro.
Obviously, it's like the only other insanely popular one on here.
Totoro.
Shush. Totoro. This movie was weird. Very, very weird. I was expecting, like, okay, animal companion. It's gonna be like a silly dude that, like, goes on an adventure with her. No, it's like a gigantic, fat, stalking rabbit that has teleporting abilities.
I've been okay with that until we saw his teeth. And then I was like, you're not Appa. Why you got the Appa teeth? Now you're freaking me out, dude.
And then you have, like, the disturbing father taking naked baths with his, like, 13-year-old child.
Ghibli and liking butts.
Ghibli does like butts. Like, almost every movie, there's, like, a scene where it, like, is a very prominent butt. Even if it's not on a human, if it's, like, a weird character, they very prominently draw, like, the butt and the butt crack. Like, they're very adamant about this for some reason.
We saw the butt of the little creature.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand
They
it.
put so much emphasis in the cleavage and the buttocks.
For some reason. I don't know. But yeah, this movie,
It felt like a trip.
it did. That's like a perfect description. It felt like a drug trip watching this movie. Like, we were like, is what we're seeing, like, real? Like, I don't know. Did she, like, eat a mushroom when she went into the woods, or what?
I was almost holding out for it ending up being a little kid telling a story type situation. That's how much sense it.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. Like, right, Japanese culture is very different from American culture, right? So a lot of this stuff, if you're watching from Japan, might make a little more sense to you, because, like, spirits are a normal thing, shrines are a normal thing. You know, these forest guardians might not be that far-fetched if you're Japanese. So I can understand, to a certain capacity, it's not going to make sense to us. But I can recognize that, and it still was, like, so far beyond not making sense.
I was cool and everything with the whole spirits and things like that. I think that type of stuff is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those, if you blink, you're into a whole different plot line, like, and you're like, what's
the bus? What was up with the freaking bus? The weird, like, cat bus? Do you remember that?
How could I not remember that?
Like, what in the heck was that? Like, rip-off Magic School Bus? Like, come on. What? That had no place being in this at all. This is about Totoro. If you want to make a movie about Totoro, make a movie about Totoro. You don't need a freaking furry cat bus. Like, what?
But furry cat bus.
It's so weird. And the story that they had going on in the background was okay, right? Like, oh, who was it? Mom was in the hospital, and they were, like, worried about mom. Oh, they get a call about things might not be going great, and the kid runs away to try and go to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. Like, that story was not bad. That was a good idea. And the way they chose to try and tell it was just weird. Like, there are many ways you can tell that story. That is not one that I would have chosen.
Yeah, fair enough. I still can't get past just, like, his character design. Like, he was so cute. Like, everything you see for the merchandising is...
He's like a giant rabbit. Like, it's cute. He's cute.
And then you see his teeth, and he's like, I'm gonna actually bite your face.
And all of his scenes in the movie, like, he doesn't talk. He doesn't make a cute noise. You know, he's not like a Pokemon. He just stands there and smiles and unblinkingly stares at you.
I would have even settled for, like, a beep type situation from Phineas and...
Yeah, but no, it was like a...
Like, mouth breathing intensifies.
Literally. It's just creepy. Like, I understand, like, the so ugly it's cute thing, but this wasn't ugly. This was disturbing. Like, this was creepy. Like, that's the look a stalker would give you when he's about to strike. Like,
I was waiting for, like, the Pennywise drooling to come out of his mouth.
But, like, why would you want your kid to grow up on this?
So they're not afraid of anything.
No. No, so that weird fathers can take baths with their 12-year-old children.
So they're not afraid when they get the drug trips.
Sigh. Anyway, so yeah, we gave that one a 2-star rating. Like I said, it had a story there that was worth telling. They just told it in such a bad way, and there were so many things that just irked us wrong watching through it.
I'm waiting for the shots through the window.
Seth has a sniper poised and ready. He's waiting. I know he's waiting for Boy and the Heron.
Camping the neighbor's house.
He's waiting for our thoughts on Boy and the Heron, and he's like, if that is anything less than a 4-star rating, he's gonna blow up our house.
I'm gonna have to get up and lock our deadbolt at that point.
Oh, really?
He's gonna time it he's gonna speed through. I mean, he's gonna figure out how to teleport.
Literally. All right, good one time. You pick.
You know which one I want to say.
Then say it.
Ponyo!
All right, Ponyo!
My childhood.
So Lexi grew up on this one, right? So obviously, not only does she have a little bit of a bias, but...
A little bit of a bias? My bias is very large.
This was the first movie that we bought. We bought the steelbook for this one, we hunted it down, and that's kind of what started us on maybe we should watch some other Ghibli movies.
Back then they were just popular.
I had never seen a Ghibli movie before Ponyo. Ponyo was the first one. She showed it to me because it was her childhood. And we liked it. Obviously, she had liked it her whole life, but I liked it seeing it the first time through. Obviously, there were weird aspects, but that...
Chicken Ponyo.
But that's just Ghibli's style, you know? The chicken feet and the weird, bodies. That's Ghibli's style. And the reason I want to clarify, that does not apply to Totoro, because nowhere in any other Ghibli movie do you really see something that's supposed to be cute look like a stalker.
Yeah. Can we also talk about how freaking stacked that cast was for Ponyo?
Mm-hmm. We should specify, because I feel like we have to specify at this point. We did watch all of the dubs, the English dubs. You know, we weren't watching the Japanese version subtitled. We aren't like that. We were watching the English dubs. So there were a lot of insanely big actors voicing a lot of these characters in a lot of these movies, not just Ponyo.
Ponyo was specifically it was really stacked though. Liam Neeson, Kate Blanchett, Betty White, Matt Damon, Tina Fey.
Ponyo was the one that I feel like I'm pretty sure it was Disney.
That one was Disney.
Decided to push really hard, because not only did Ponyo have trailers on their DVDs that they released. I remember having, I forget what it was. I forget. We had a DVD that we watched a lot when I was a kid, and one of the trailers was for Ponyo. So obviously I knew about Ponyo for a while, but Disney was absolutely trying to push this one, so I think they knew that this was one of the better Ghibli movies, because this is the one that they chose to heavily advertise and sell.
Put the little siblings of Miley Cyrus and of the Jonas Brothers as Ponyo and Sasuke.
Yeah. So pretty big pulls there. It's they were okay, this one we know is going to do well if we release it to American audiences, so let's get as many names behind it as possible to try and pull people in to watch this movie.
Mm-hmm. That one was a 5-star.
Yep, we rated that one 5-star. It was just great. There was no part in that movie where I felt, oh, this is weird, or oh, this doesn't make sense.
I will say your eyes got huge with Chicken Ponyo.
Here's now, design was just questionable. I was like, okay, clearly you're trying to make her cute, but that's just weird. First she's a goldfish, and then she's a person. So where in between do you get chicken? That's not a sea creature, and that's...
She was trying her best.
I don't know where you get chicken from. But yeah.
From the farm.
It was a little strange, but you know what? It was understandable. That's Ghibli. There are some strange things in Ghibli. But the story was really cute, and it made sense. A lot of it made sense, and I feel like that's kind of important to
just adorable.
Specify. But, none of the characters felt too, crazy. Yes, the mother taking in a goldfish child felt like, okay, we're taking a little bit of a liberty there, but it's a kid's movie again. Like, what are you gonna do?
Casually adopt son's betrothed.
Literally. Like, but no, it was a really cute movie. I enjoyed it. End song's a banger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I need a quick serotonin boost, that is what I turn on.
Mm.
Okay, you pick the next one?
Dang. All right.
Yeah.
Kind of breezing over upon you there.
Because if we keep me going on it, I'm just gonna freak out.
All right, next one. When Marty was there, here. It was here. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Marty was here. This one,
I thought it was cool.
we were so confused going through. We were conflicted. So this one is one that the story they were trying to tell, by the end of the movie, I should say, it kind of keeps you like a little lost going through, but by the end it all makes sense. This one was weird watching it for the first time. Because, like, once again, we don't know anything about these movies. Like, we have not heard anything.
Oh, wait, we should actually pause and explain how we're picking which movies we do next. Is we're going into Barnes & Noble, like, once every week or two for a date. We go to get Chinese food, and then we go to Barnes & Noble, and we pick one steelbook of
the Ghibli movies.
Yeah. We don't look at anything besides the cover art and kind of just, I choose you.
Yep. And this was one of those, and it was interesting. We genuinely thought, like, okay, so these children are in a lesbian relationship. Cool. All right. And then you slowly figure out that, oh, this is her grandmother. Why is she in a lesbian relationship with her dead grandmother?
This is one that I really want to go back and watch now, knowing how it ends, just to see how...
Because they very clearly, like, allude to, oh, they're very much attracted to each other, you know what I'm saying?
Up for interpretation.
It is. They leave it, what's the word, ambiguous enough that you can, like... If you don't want to see it that way, you don't have to see it that way. It's not going to come across that way. But
or if that's how you want to see it,
exactly,
you can have the evidence there and be like, well, this.
Exactly. It's like there's enough there that you can or don't have to see it that way. But watching through it, we were definitely like, okay, so this feels like a vibe.
But I don't know about you, but the vibes are vibing. There's so much intense eye contact.
Literally. It was really weird.
No, it was giving Bella and Edward.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the end, it wasn't a bad movie. The story made sense to an extent, you know, as much as a story like this can. And it was enjoyable by the end. But because the first watch through, we were kind of like... We were really confused. Like, we were really confused, and we didn't know where this was going. Hiccups. No, don't get the hiccups while we're recording the podcast. That would not be helpful.
Content.
It was not a very pleasant first watch through. And now, watching through it, I imagine it'd be a lot more entertaining because it makes more sense to us now. But as a first watch through, it just wasn't that great, and we are rating our first watch throughs. So
I feel like it'll be interesting to go back though and see how the rating does change with all of the information we have now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to update you guys on that one.
Yep. But yeah, that one we rated as a 3-star. It was not terrible, not fantastic. We enjoyed ourselves, but it was really confusing.
It was a little sus, but
yeah,
really good.
Yeah. And this one had some big stars as the cast, right, as well?
I believe.
Because it had Haley Steinfeld as the main girl, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Who were the others? I feel like there was somebody else that we were like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I believe you're right. Let me look it up.
Do 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 do. You know, I did pull up.
Lena Waithe, Catherine O'Hara. I freaked out about Catherine O'Hara because I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. And she was Sally as well. Kathy Bates, Kiernan Shipka. Like, some big names.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. And that is one of the newest ones as well.
Oh, wow, it is. I didn't realize
2014, which it's crazy that to me at least is still like a newer thing, because that's what, over 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Because what, Boy and the Heroine, I keep wanting to say heroin.
That's a whole different movie.
Boy and the Heron.
Not to be confused with The Boy and the Heroine.
Boy and the Heron is like the only new one, isn't it?
I believe so.
Because all the other ones are really old, and that one came out recently, so.
Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. He's calling a movie that's younger than you old.
Bruh. Anyway, yeah. Oh, hold on. Let's take an intermission here. I want to see just, of the ones we've gone over so far, what the actual ratings are on IMDb. Because I have the page pulled up here. For Totoro, it has an 8.1 star rating.
Kiki has a 7.8.
7.8. Come on. Where's the others?
We haven't gone over Princess Mononoke yet.
Not yet.
Or Spirited Away.
Not that.
Ponyo got a 7.6.
Dude, Ponyo's lower? That's crazy. I figured Ponyo would have been higher up. Marnie got a 7.6. Dang. Alright then.
Consistent with their ratings. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on to the next one here. I say we should probably get this one done. Yeah, we can do these two, and we'll save these two for last. Because I feel like I want to save those for last.
Okay.
So, what, next would be a good one or a bad one? Good one. Yeah.
So let's go Spirited Away.
Yes, Spirited Away.
Loved it. Fantastic.
Yes, this was a really good movie. It not as good as Ponyo, just because there were moments where it was like, I'm sorry, you lost me for a minute. Like, what's happening? And there were some.
A friend.
There were some very strange creative liberties going on, but it was good. We enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the dude. He just wanted a friend.
Apparently.
He was like, I got gold for you. Friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was strange.
It was really cute, actually. I really liked that one. No notes.
No notes at all? None of them?
Should have been longer. I wish I knew what happened after. That's one that I really wish either had another part or another book or something. Because I want to know what happens after. Life is not just going to go back to the same for her after that, I assume.
Yeah. A weird part for me here was like the character designs. Like a lot of the characters in this one were a little strange.
Okay,
I'll
give you that.
I liked some of the spirits. Like they had cool. I like the mask of the main guy. Does he have a name? The main like spirit guy with the gold.
Let's see what our friend Google says.
I don't know if he really had a name.
Yeah, let's see what our friend Google says.
I liked his design though. It was cool to see. I liked his like constant morphing too. It was a cool idea. But I could tell there were some really well thought out details in this movie. It's just there were certain aspects that were like, okay, that's a little far, or that's a weird one. But you know, the little dust bunnies, those were cute. I enjoyed those. You having fun there? You finding it?
I'm trying to find a name, and pretty much everything just says No Face, so I assume that's...
All right, No Face, cool. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
I wish we got to see a little more of the real world.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like they immediately went into the spirits, and then when they came out, not much happened.
Yeah, I would have expected that a little bit more would have changed. Like
a little more prologue, a little more epilogue would have been nice. But I don't know. It just felt like everything was contained to this bubble, and we don't get to know, was this all in her head? Was this real? Was this, like, the parents don't remember it, so it easily could have been fake. But at the same time, they were changed into pigs, so it could have been real as well, because they could just not remember it. Like, it was odd.
Yeah, I really wish they had gone a little bit further into it. Like, why were they going where they were going? And
the whole twin sister thing. Like, that's such a cliche. Especially when it comes to witches. Like, really? Twin sister? Is that what we're going with? And the giant baby.
When in doubt, there's always a twin. Oh, yeah, the baby was weird.
The baby was really weird. I didn't like the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, the mother liked the baby a little too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was weird.
These are the kinds of, like, weird Ghibli choices that we talk about. Is like, why? Just, like, why? Like, some of it is a cultural thing, but surely gigantic babies being taken care of by good and bad evil twin witches is not something that people in Japan find normal. Like, surely I'm not crazy.
I don't remember how to pronounce his name. I think it's Haku. I loved the way his dragon form looked.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
It was really cool. Really pretty.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep.
I agree. Absolutely.
Next film.
All right, so we're jumping to...
You want to...
Yeah. I was going to let you say it. You were supposed to say it.
I said the last one, didn't I?
No, I said the last one.
Okay.
Say it.
The Princess Mononoke.
Woohoo! Princess Mononoke. This one was interesting.
It was interesting.
So from the beginning, I really thought I was going to end up liking this one a lot. Like, it started really strong. I could tell, like, oh, this is a story that I'm going to be interested in, He gets his arm infected by this weird demon boar and has to go off trying to see if there's any sort of cure or investigate. And he's just trying to find out what happened. Kind of becomes a traveling monk for a little while until he finds the town. It is really interesting from the start. And a little further in is where it started to lose me a little bit. Like, it's getting kind of... What's the word? Like...
Murky?
Yeah, I guess that works. When you start, like, losing focus on the movie. Like, I can usually sit down and focus on a movie really easy. But if it's hard to follow, that's when my attention starts going to other things. And this one, at the start, it held my attention really well. I was like, oh, this is really interesting. This is really cool. And then it just kind of leaned more toward the... Like... What's happening? Why is all of this, like, colliding?
It was a really, really cool premise, though.
Mm-hmm. I really did like the premise. And I was even behind the whole, like, I don't know how to put it, like, the sentient, like, tribes of creatures was really cool. Like, the boars and the wolves and the gorillas.
It made sense with the world that they were building.
Yeah, it seemed really cool, and it was a really cool idea to have these different tribes. I don't know. I've never read the Warriors books, but I almost imagine that's what they kind of are, is like these different tribes of animals just like having drama. Like that's almost what I get as the vibe from those books, and that's kind of what this was like drama between the tribes.
It would have been cool maybe if they had kind of explained why things were going certain ways and how the corruption of the bison happened?
Yeah.
So that it would drive the story a little bit more. And
yes. It was really cool when, he comes into the town and then Mononoke tries to assassinate what's her face.
Casually, yeah.
Yeah. And that was really cool. And then him not necessarily fighting, but just trying to get her out. Like, that was really cool. And it was just, like, awesome to see, like, the stand after he's been shot and he's still going. Like, that was really cool. Like, that was an awesome scene, and I loved seeing that. Yeah, I think that is, like, the point where it started to lose me after they left the town.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good, like, where it started to fade.
It was really incredible to see that show of power. Man literally got attacked. He got shot. And, it was a shot that should have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to, like, throw this girl over his shoulder like, what, a sack of potatoes?
Mm-hmm. And granted, some of it is because of his curse, right? Because of his arm. It gave him strength and probably kept him alive. But it's still impressive. Like, no matter who you are, that's an impressive show.
Even the people who were supposed to kill him because at that point he wasn't welcome in their town anymore, they had to stop and be like, what am I up against here?
Yeah.
Man's not human.
It was crazy. But no, it was starting out really well, and then I don't know, it just lost it. Like, it just lost that hold on a straight narrative line. It's like the narrative had a straight line all the way up until that point, and then it started to, like, squiggle. It didn't split at all because it was still all the same narrative, but it started to squiggle like it didn't know where it wanted to stay.
I feel like part of the problem was the fact that from that point on, they put so many details into so little time, so it was you're giving me so much information that I'm not going to retain or focus on any of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a trend with a lot of these films, is they'll start out strong, it'll be a decent pace, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crud, we've got 30 minutes left in this allotted time frame. Here's 50 pages of script.
Yeah. Info dump is definitely a problem. Like, I'm not opposed to long movies. If you want to make your movie 3-4 hours long, I'll still watch it. I might pause in the middle to, like, do something else and then come back to it, but I will watch your 4-hour movie. Just do it right, like, give each scene its time to breathe. Don't rush everything out and then have, like, an end scene where you literally have to tell, what's a good example? Like, a book adaptation. What's a book adaptation that didn't go well?
Book adaptation that didn't go well. There's a lot. Why am I blanking? I know you haven't seen it, but Paper Towns was a book, and they adapted it, and it was terrible.
Literally never heard.
It was a John Green book.
Bruh. No, because the only two that are coming to mind right now are Hunger Games and Harry Potter, which were both great adaptations. So this is unfortunate. But, like, kind of like what Hunger Games did for its last book, Like, they split it into 2 movies just because it's impossible to tell the story of that last book without having more space. Like Deathly Hallows. 1 book, but you had to split it into 2 movies because there's just so much there. So it's almost like they're trying to do that where they have so much story to tell, but then instead of splitting it into 2 parts or just making the movie longer, they try and cram all that info into the movie close to the end. Like, they give so much breathing space for, like, start, and they set things up amazing, and then they cram all of it in because they're afraid that they're gonna lose the audience or something.
I guess what we're trying to say here is that no matter how fabulous and fantastic the plot, the characters, the world building, any of that would be, even a movie like Avatar or Avatar 2 would be terrible if they tried to push it into an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't work. It would not be cohesive. You'd be incredibly lost and confused, and anything that they were trying to convey would just be lost in translation. You have to give your messages and your scripts and all of that time. You have to draw your scenes out, not... we'll figure it out.
That's why extended editions are such like a great thing in the movie space. It's because like you're giving characters and scenes more time to just exist and grow, and that is so great for a lot of the world and character building that they're trying to do. Anyways, we got off topic. Mononoke.
Can you tell it's late, guys?
Yeah, totally. What time is it? It is
10 o'clock.
10:16. We're uploading this one late tonight.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, so Mononoke, we gave 3 stars. It was not terrible because we loved the start, but it lost it. It lost its grip close to the end.
Okay. Which one do you want to do?
So we're going to do probably, would you say this is your favorite? Not counting Ponyo? Because I know Ponyo's like special.
I would say yes, if not close second to Spirited Away.
Okay. So this one was Howl's Moving Castle, obviously. We were optimistic about this one going in because this was one that we both thought sounded really good. We'd read like the
Synopsis,
that's the word, thank you. The synopsis on the back, and we were like, oh, this one does actually sound a lot better than some of the other ones. Big shock, this one was actually a book. But a book series, wasn't it? It was actually multiple books.
It was multiple books.
Yeah. But yeah, we were excited about this one, and I can say right now, without talking about any of the plot, the reason this one was so good is because it stuck to its grounded characters. It didn't try and jump to other characters. It didn't try and add too many other elements. It had a character. You had your lady who turned into an old woman, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was the focus. And it focused on her and stuck to her. And yes, you might have had a scene or two without her, but the movie was centered on her. It was almost her perspective on things. And so because of that, it was so much more grounded and easier to understand because you can project yourself onto that character and be like, okay, so I'm discovering this with her.
And any story that was happening in the background felt like it enhanced her story because it enhanced her understanding of the characters around her.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt like it didn't feel murky and muddled, and it felt like every little side story and piece of evidence was helping with the grander picture.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just, oh, Billy over here likes birds. My mother killed a bird once.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it actually was cohesive.
Yeah, everything led into everything else naturally. It didn't feel forced, which is weird because this was multiple books and they somehow made it into one movie. But, you know, it is what it is. Every Ghibli movie has its flaws, though. This one wasn't perfect, even though we gave it our 5 stars.
What movie is perfect? If you really want to find a nitpick, you will.
Red and Your Dragon.
I'm surprised you didn't say Star Wars. Not counting the newer one.
Star Wars had a lot of flaws.
Feeling okay?
No, there were certain parts, like, once again, weird designs, for the lady who put the curse on what's-her-face, the witch.
Mm-hmm.
She was weird and just disturbing the entire movie.
I think that was the point.
Probably. And then there were other times where it was like a little more explanation would have been nice on certain things, like why Howl is a bird. Like, I get, like, they tried to explain it a little bit, but it would have been nice to have a little bit more. But I understand that's because they tried to fit so much into a single movie. So I'm not like crazy upset about that, which is why it didn't affect the rating too much.
This one also had a couple big names in it. Billy Crystal and Christian Bale.
Yeah. Big names.
They also had Josh Hutcherson, but he wasn't super big at the time, and now he's PETA.
Little Hutcherson.
I'm scared to get into this next one.
Oh, we're not ready for that. Keep talking. More thoughts. What do you think of the castle design?
I thought it was interesting. It's not really I didn't really expect that the castle could have legs or would have legs. I kind of thought it would be more of a, I don't know,
Really?
you will it to be there and so it is type situation. That's kind of how I expected it would be, since it's magic. I didn't really think it would lean so much mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not opposed to it. It
Nope,
felt rustic and cool.
It was really cool, and it was a really unique design. That's not what I expected to see, and that was pleasantly surprising this time. It didn't feel like a cliche, and it didn't feel like they were trying to go way too out of their way to make it unique. But it was really nice. I enjoyed the design. I do think there's a lot of symbolism in its design. Like, you can kind of see just by looking at it Howl's mental state. Like, dude was not okay. Everything was disorganized. The castle itself looked like shambled together and like it could fall apart, it poked the wrong way, like, and that's kind of how Howl was. That's how he was existing. Like, that's how he lived. And
even his little nest was so tucked far away, and the little boy and everyone who lived there didn't really know him either.
Mm-hmm. And what's the main character's name? What was her name? I want to say, like, Sophie or something.
I think so.
Was it Sophie?
I think so, but let's see what our lovely friend Google has to say. Because I'm terrible at names.
Sophie, come on. Good job. You're doing great.
Thank you.
You scrolled too far. You scrolled way, way, way too far. Continue. My goodness. Close the pop-up. Scroll up.
Why yada? Sophie!
Yeah, okay. It was only when Sophie's character, like, came into his life that unstable, like, castle came crashing down, and they were able to start again and, like, fix things.
Yeah, I liked how she was able to, I guess, I almost hesitate to say rectify everything that happened between Howl and Calcifer. Like, reset things for them.
Also, Calcifer was the best.
Oh,
like,
Calcifer was top tier.
Straight up. Like, he is the best of the weird friends that these Ghibli movies have.
I mean, he was Billy Crystal. Like, when does he flop?
Sigh.
He's Mike Wazowski.
No, I need, like, a Calcifer plushie or something. We have to find one. I wonder if Barnes & Noble has one.
I want to do a Calcifer on my Ghibli wheel.
Yes, that'd be perfect.
I'm also gonna do a Gigi.
Definitely. Anyways, but yeah, we gave that one 5 stars. It is the only one to have 5 stars aside from Ponyo so far, so very interesting to see. And that is a perfect segue into the only one.
So say, Seth, stay in Virginia. We said so far.
So far. That is a perfect segue into the only one that got a 1 star at all on this list. And remember, we're only like halfway through, so there's still a chance.
We need to put Seth on a watch list after.
But this is the only one that got 1 star, Boy and the Heron. What the heck was that movie?
It was a lot.
I'm sorry, this thing got astronomically high ratings. People were raving about it. Like, people who had never seen a Ghibli movie were seeing it, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Like, I get that the animation was good. Like, I can see that. The animation was pretty good. But, like, nothing else was worth anything.
What was that scene when he beat himself in the head with the rock?
Yeah, like, why? Like, just why? He just did it.
I will say, the willpower that child had.
Right? Like, that takes some serious willpower to be able to do that to yourself and actually do it.
Especially when your brain is supposed to be able to hinder you from doing such things to yourself. Like, this is gonna get gross for a second. You could actually bite your own finger off if you wanted to. It's the same force it would take to bite a carrot, but your brain will not let you do it.
Don't take that as a challenge, please.
It's like a mind over matter situation, and his mind was definitely
Yeah. But Dude, this movie was like all of the bad things that we've said about the other movies so far wrapped into one. Like, it felt so crammed together. Like, the story had no room to breathe. They were trying to put so much in it all at once.
And more
it had
than story.
Insanely weird, creepy designs. Like, the heron himself with the dude inside. Like, what?
Yeah.
It was just disturbing. All of it was just disturbing.
It was cool about the doors, though. I like, remember how, like, they could see into other places? That could have been super cool to see play out if it didn't have, like, 10 different plots all trying to be plots and not subplots.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then, like you were saying, it felt like there were so many different stories happening at the same time. Because there were so many characters that came in for one purpose, and it was to guide the characters to something else than what they were doing. Like, it made no sense. It's like, here's a bunch of side quests. We're going to introduce you to them, and they actually turn into the main quest after you accept them.
Yeah.
What? I thought I was doing one quest. Huh?
And see, they could have even made it work if it was more of a, this thing is going to spur you towards this thing, and all of these things that you learned help you with the final. But it was more of a, go collect the yellow shoe. Good job. Now the blue one's over there. It's, you know what I mean? It felt
It was so odd.
like they were just giving him things to do and extra information to do nothing with. And then it felt like they didn't explain enough of the things that should have been explained.
Yeah.
Like what was happening with the mother, was it? Or aunt?
It was mother.
Aunt, wasn't it?
I thought it was his mother.
I don't even know at this point, because I thought his mother...
Well, his mother was the child.
Yeah.
And his aunt was the older lady.
Yeah, because his mother... Yes, because his mother died, and then the kid ended up being the younger version of the mother.
But he, like, ended up back in time, but not. Like, he time traveled, sort of, because he got to meet the child version of his mother and the, like, young adult version of his aunt. And it was, like, not the past, but also the past, because they were there. How did this movie end up being about time travel? Like, what? That I literally had to take a minute and be like, wait, am I seeing this right? Am I understanding this right? The answer is always no when it comes to this movie. Of course I'm not understanding it right, because there's nothing to understand. But are you telling me that somehow he sort of time traveled? Like,
Yeah, you don't do that? You don't sort of?
no! When I time travel, I do it fully and committedly. I'm not gonna half time travel. That's how you end up with an onward situation. You got your dad's legs walking around, and you don't get to talk to his top half.
Oh, and guys, side note, if you disagree with any of these opinions or feel like we missed certain things, please, please, please put it in the Discord. Let us know. We would love to be educated.
As of right now, we do not understand.
If you need to, like, just doesn't matter how long it is. If you feel like we missed something or that something was interpreted wrong, or you just want to tell us your interpretation in general, please drop it in the Discord.
Because remember, we are not anime connoisseurs, right? We do not watch this stuff frequently. I have dabbled in a few different areas, but that by no means qualifies me to interpret Japanese culture, right? So there's probably a lot of stuff here that's lost on me. But
We're not immersed in the culture. We didn't have any information going in. And we're kind of looking at these face value and interpreting what we can based on the little bit that we do know. So we're both ready and willing to admit that our opinions are flawed.
yes. We're looking at this from a very American moviegoer kind of view. And so that's probably not what these movies were made to be viewed like, but that's how we're viewing them. Which is why it was very important for us to have this conversation without Seth, because bro is so stuck on his anime perspective that we never would have been able to have a civil conversation.
And we do plan to delve more into anime we've been slowly watching other anime movies that just didn't make our list today because they didn't fit under Ghibli since they aren't Ghibli.
Like A Whisker Away. That was a weird movie, but it was entertaining.
What was it, the one with the chair?
Oh, yeah. Suzume?
Suzume, yeah.
Yep. That was good.
And Your Name?
Yep, Your Name. Yeah, we've been watching basically all, like, the big ones that everybody always talks about. That's what we're going and watching alongside these, because we feel like...
our ratings for those two at some point.
We probably can. We just have to actually watch enough of them to make a list and be able to rate them.
We gotta get on it.
We do indeed. But anyways, I'm gonna go back over these ratings one more time just to have them all in one place. So we have...
If Seth doesn't kill us.
We have Howl's Moving Castle at 5 stars. Kiki's Delivery Service at 4. Totoro at 2. Ponyo at 5. Mononoke at 3. Spirited Away at 4. When Marnie Was Here at 3. And Boy and the Heron at 1. So... those are our ratings as of right now. We're going to watch the rest, and then maybe when Seth is gone again later, we'll do our second episode and review these other movies. Which one out of the ones we haven't seen are you most excited for?
That kind of fluctuates with my mood, and right now I'm feeling the Arietti. Did I pronounce that right? I'm so sorry if I butchered that.
Yeah, I think I'm most excited for Porco Rosso. It looks like a goofy movie, and...
I knew you were going to say that.
What? All of these thus far, the ones that have tried to be goofy have just ended up being weird, but that one literally looks like a goofy movie, so I am excited to see if they succeed that time.
So, as of right now, guys, our plan is to get crack-a-lackin' on watching these movies, coming up with our ratings, and then revisiting our list. Because as we get more information, our ratings could change.
If the bar sets itself even lower, some of the ratings might go up. If the bar sets itself higher, some ratings might go down.
Or if it stays about the same,
then we might just reevaluate a couple individual things based on, where things are sitting. So we'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. Join our Discord so that you absolutely do not miss that, because Seth is going to absolutely flame us for this episode and that next one whenever it comes out. Miss you, Seth.
Thanks for listening. Don't cancel us. We love you.
Follow the podcast. Follow the social medias at Nerd Rant Podcast on X/Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the special things. And we will see you one last time next week before Seth gets back. Lexi, what do you have to say?
That I'm really enjoying doing these podcasts, and I hope to come back for more if time and our lovely hosts allow.
That was way more serious than I was expecting.
What did you want me to say? Pickles?
Sure, honestly, that would have made more sense. Do you listen to our outros, or do you skip those?
It depends on who's mostly talking in the outro.
Burp.
If it's screaming, I skip it.
Cat, stop licking your butt. Okay, bye!